It was supposed to be just another night on late-night TV. Seth Meyers at the desk, lights up, crowd buzzing, and Elon Musk, yes, that Elon, taking a seat across from him. But what happened next? No one in that studio saw it coming. 1 minute, it's laughs and light banter. The next, it's a full-blown meltdown. The kind of moment that gets replayed for days, clipped into TikToks, tweeted with fire emojis, and broken down frame by frame like a crime scene. People weren't talking about the jokes. They were talking about the clash. An unscripted ego war, raw and ugly, that ended with Elon storming off set while security scrambled to the stage. Something Seth said clearly hit a nerve. The way Elon's face changed, it said everything. This wasn't just a tense moment, it was a public eruption. And now, everyone wants to know what really happened behind that desk. Why did Elon snap? And was it just a TV stunt? Or did Seth cross a line that no guest, no matter how rich or powerful, was willing to let slide? Stick around, because this wasn't just a bad interview. This was a blow-up that shook late night to its core. Drop. Your thoughts in the comments. Was this Elon losing it, or did Seth push him too far? Elon Musk walks onto the stage with the kind of presence you'd expect. Confident, a little smug, like he already knows he's the smartest guy in the room. He flashes that half-smile as the audience claps, looking completely relaxed. But if, you look closer, there's something a little too smooth about the way he moves, like he's performing. Like he knows something's coming and he's bracing for it. He shakes hands with Seth Meyers, who greets him with his usual late-night charm. But even that feels slightly forced tonight. The first few minutes are polite. Seth starts with basic questions about Mars, AI, and Tesla, topics Elon could talk about in his sleep. Elon answers them with short, sharp confidence, tossing in a few jokes of his own. But right underneath the surface, there's a strange energy. Not quite hostile, but tense. Seth's smiling, sure, but his eyes are testing Elon, almost daring him to break character. Then it happens. Seth leans forward, keeping that casual tone, and says, "So, when your car crashes itself, do you sue yourself or the algorithm?" It's a joke, but it cuts deep. The crowd laughs, but it's nervous laughter, like they know this one might have gone too far. Elon laughs too, but it's tight. His mouth moves, but his eyes don't. You can see it. He didn't like that one, not at all. For a moment, his face freezes, and then, bam, he hits back. Well, unlike NBC, our failures don't need writers. The room shifts. Some people gasp. Some cheer. Others just go quiet. Seth leans back in his chair with a smirk, but it's not the playful kind. He knows that line hit a nerve. The vibe changes instantly. Elon's jaw tightens. He glances toward the audience, then back at Seth. His hands resting in his lap are suddenly clasped tight together. You can even see his fingers twitching slightly, like he's trying to hold something back. A close-up camera shot shows Elon's face. His smile is gone. His eyes are locked in. This isn't a fun interview anymore. It's becoming a power struggle, right there in front of a live studio audience. And everyone can feel it. The audience isn't laughing as easily now. They're watching like something might explode. Because in that one moment, it stopped being a bit and turned into something very real. The tension doesn't let up. In fact, it gets worse. Seth leans forward again, trying to stay cool, but he's clearly ready to poke the bear. The screen behind them flickers, and suddenly a slow-motion video of a SpaceX rocket exploding midair fills the set. The audience breaks out in loud laughter. Seth doesn't miss a beat. With a half-smile, he turns to Elon and says, "Let's talk about your billion-dollar fireworks show. It's sharp. Meaner than before. Not just teasing anymore, it's personal." The crowd laughs harder this time, more comfortable now that Seth is clearly taking the lead. But Elon doesn't laugh. He stares straight ahead, almost like he's watching that rocket explode again in real time. His lips press into a thin line. Then Elon fires back. "This show is less watched than my burner Twitter account." The studio goes quiet for half a second, like the air just got sucked out of the room. Then come the gasps, a few laughs, and the distinct sound of someone in the back muttering, "Oh, damn." Elon leans back in his chair, one arm across the backrest, owning the moment like he just dropped a bomb, and in a way he did. Seth's expression hardens. The smirk fades. That one clearly hit a nerve. He doesn't respond with a joke this time. His voice is sharper now. "You know, for someone who's supposed to be saving the planet, you sure love launching pollution into the sky." Elon jumps in before Seth even finishes. "And you're saving the world with, what, interviews about dog movies?" They're cutting each other off now, talking over one another. The mics are picking up fragments of both voices at once. It's no longer a conversation, it's a mess. People in the audience stop laughing. Some look uncomfortable. A few start recording on their phones, sensing this moment might blow up online before the show even airs. Then it goes even deeper. Seth sits up straighter, doesn't blink, and says slowly, "You're not a genius, Elon. You're just a rich kid who bought engineers smarter than you." The insult hangs in the air. Elon doesn't flinch, he doesn't blink either. He fires back just as coldly. "And you're a mouthpiece with a laugh track." That's it. The line is crossed. Neither of them is pretending anymore. The crowd is no longer sure how to react. It's not fun or clever. It's raw. It feels like two people who really don't like each other, forced to sit in the same room and pretend it's all part of the script. But it's not. This isn't part of any script. This is real. And it's getting ugly. Fast. At this point, there's no charm left. The jokes are gone. What's happening now doesn't feel like a TV show anymore. It feels like a live argument that no one planned for. Seth leans in again, eyes sharp, voice steady, and says, "So how's it feel running the worst app since Vine?" The studio breaks into laughter. Loud, cruel, almost too loud. Elon shifts in his seat. His jaw tightens. His eyes dart to the crowd, scanning. There's a flash of anger he doesn't bother hiding. He looks right at Seth and says with zero humor in his tone, "At least I don't need cue cards to be interesting." You can feel the shift. The energy in the room flips. It's not playful anymore, it's personal. Seth doesn't miss a beat. He starts mocking Elon's voice, deep, slow, awkward, and throws in a fake tweet impression. "Just brushed my teeth. Rocket launch tomorrow. Dogecoin forever." The crowd loses it. They're clapping, laughing, some people literally standing to film. Elon's not having it. He leans forward, eyes locked on Seth, voice rising louder than before. "Say one more thing and I walk." The pause after that is heavy. Even the cameras seem to freeze. You could hear a phone buzz from the back row, but Seth doesn't pull back. He pushes harder, calm as ever. "You walked from Twitter's value too. What's another exit?" That line hits hard. The crowd reacts instantly, half cheering, half gasping. Elon sits frozen, blinking fast, his hands gripping the edge of his chair. One hand reaches up to fix the mic on his collar. It's hanging crooked from earlier, probably knocked loose during the back and forth. His face is red now, not just from the lighting. His breathing's louder, he's trying to control it, but it's clear he's rattled. His voice shakes just a little when he speaks next. "The world doesn't need your tech, Elon. We need humility," Seth says, quieter now, but cutting deeper. Elon doesn't even look at the audience. His eyes are fixed on Seth as he fires back. "No, you need ratings. That's why I'm here, right?" Boom. It lands, but it doesn't stop anything. They're both too deep into it now. Seth's smirk returns, but his eyes don't leave Elon's. They're locked in this weird standoff that feels bigger than just late-night TV. Elon's breathing heavy, trying to keep control, but his voice cracks slightly on the next line. His frustration is showing now, not just in his words, but in his whole body. His knees bouncing, his hand keeps fixing that mic, and he's not sitting back anymore. He's forward, elbows on his knees like he's about to get up. Seth, meanwhile, sits calmly, almost too calmly. It's like he knows he's already won in the court of public opinion. The crowd's still with him. Elon's drowning in noise and lights and cameras pointed right at his face. This is no longer just a TV moment. It's two powerful guys clashing. One with jokes, the other with pride, and neither one's backing down. The whole thing was already on edge, but this is where it blows up. Seth, with that same cool face he's kept the whole time, looks at the camera and says, "Let's take a look at the Musk empire, shall we?" And boom. On the screen behind them, a fast-cut montage starts rolling. Headlines flash one after another. Tesla recalls over brake failures. Neuralink under federal investigation. SpaceX sued for worker mistreatment. The music under it is snarky, upbeat, almost mocking. The studio crowd is laughing again, clapping like it's a comedy bit. But Elon isn't laughing. The aftermath didn't hit like a slow wave, it hit like a bomb. Within minutes of Elon walking off Seth Meyers' set, clips flooded every corner of the internet. One shaky video from a front row seat hit TikTok and racked up 5 million views in under an hour. The title? Elon storms off live, with bold red text and the word unhinged flashing across the thumbnail. Twitter was on fire too. People breaking down the moment frame by frame, trying to figure out when exactly it crossed from awkward to nuclear. And the memes. Oh man. People went wild. One video mashed up Elon's exit with WWE walkout music, the kind of heavy bass beat that makes everything seem 10 times more dramatic. Another edit turned Seth into a video game boss, zoom-ins, KO, sound effects, and Mortal Kombat voiceovers layered over his final roast. Every platform had its own flavor, but the energy was the same. This wasn't just a late-night moment, it was a full-on internet event. But it wasn't just jokes. People were split. Hard. Team Elon showed up fast. They said he was ambushed. That Seth had it out for him from the start. That the whole thing was a setup to get ratings and humiliate him. Comments flooded in like, he held his ground and, they don't want real builders on TV, they want puppets. Then there was Team Seth. Loud, proud, and unapologetic. Finally, someone called him out. That man needed to be humbled. The word egomaniac got thrown around a lot. People were praising Seth like he'd done something brave, standing up to the billionaire right in front of the cameras, and of course, Elon added fuel to it. Hours later, he tweeted, "Legacy media is dying, good riddance." No apology, no walking it back, just straight-up war. The tweet got over 1 million likes in less than a day. Some people praised the honesty, others called it a meltdown. Meanwhile, Seth used his next monologue to twist the knife, smiling like nothing rattled him. He looked straight into the camera and said, "Well, at least he left faster than a Tesla in sport mode." The crowd lost it. It wasn't just a joke. It was a victory lap, and the wildest part? It worked. That night's episode, highest ratings in 6 years. Seth's team confirmed it. Overnight, a show most people hadn't talked about in ages became the headline. Everyone watched the clip. Everyone had a take. And no matter whose side you were on, one thing was clear. Late-night television hadn't felt that alive in a long, long time. He turns toward the screen, jaw clenched so hard you can almost hear it. He snaps his head back to Seth, eyes burning. Then he just lets it rip. "You don't know anything about building," he shouts, voice echoing off the walls. "You're a clown pretending to matter." The words hit like a punch. The crowd reacts instantly. Gasps, some scattered boos, some cheers. People are fully out with their phones now, filming from every angle. Elon slams his hand on the armrest, shoves his chair back so hard it nearly topples. His mic yanks off his collar with a pop. The wire swings out in front of him as he stands. For a second, it's just him towering over Seth, furious, breathing hard. You can see the stage crew react. Security on the side steps forward, slow, careful, hands at their sides. A producer in a headset walks on stage quickly, trying to signal something off camera, probably telling them to cut. But Elon's not done. He points right at Seth. "I'm done with this crap." His voice is rough now, raw. "You're trash. Your network is trash. Everything about this is fake." Seth stays in his chair, staring up at him. He doesn't say anything back, just holds the stare like he's not going to give Elon the final word. And that's it. Elon turns, mic cord, dragging behind him, and walks straight off set. The cameras keep rolling. One swings awkwardly to follow him, catching a weird angle of his back as he storms off stage. Someone yells his name, maybe a crew member, maybe not, but he doesn't turn around. A door slams somewhere off screen. On stage, Seth just sits there, for a second, silent. Then he turns back to the audience. His mouth opens like he's going to say something, but before he can, the screen cuts to a shaky, last-minute commercial break. No outro, no music. Just silence, and then a jarring switch to an ad about car insurance. That was it. No scripted goodbye, no applause. Just a moment that went way beyond what late night's supposed to be. And it was all caught on camera. What happened on Seth Meyers' set wasn't just drama. It turned into a full-blown cultural moment. One of the richest and most powerful men in the world, storming off a comedy show, yelling into a hot mic. It didn't just break the internet, it cracked open bigger questions. What does it mean when a tech billionaire like Elon Musk walks into a space built for laughs and roasts and then can't take the heat? What does it say about power, ego, and how we treat people who aren't used to being questioned in real time? There's something deeper here. Elon has spent years controlling the conversation, on Twitter and press releases and live streams where no one challenges him. But late-night TV? It still has that weird old-school power. It's one of the few spaces left where celebrities don't get to fully script their moment. And Seth? He used that stage not just for jokes, but for jabs that hit way too close to home. Some people saw it as punching up. Others saw it as crossing the line. And then there's the ego part. When you've got billions, rockets, and your own satellites in the sky, what happens when someone tells you you're wrong? We saw it live. Elon's mask slipped, and the world couldn't stop watching. Now people are wondering what's next. Is Elon going to clap back with his own platform? Will he launch a media brand just to fire back at what he calls legacy media? He already hinted at it. Some fans are whispering about a podcast, maybe even a live show. And if that happens, it won't just be a feud. It'll be war. Musk versus mainstream. So yeah, this wasn't just an awkward interview. It was the start of something bigger. A battle over truth, control, and who really gets to own the narrative in 2025. The lines are drawn. Team Elon, Team Seth, and everyone stuck in the middle just watching the fire burn. But what do you think? Was Elon totally out of line, or was it all a setup? Was this the real him, or just a billionaire tired of being poked? Drop your take in the comments, and hey, don't blink, because if Elon does launch his own show, we'll be right here breaking it down.